Good morning, Rob from Rob's Been Running. I hope you are doing well, staying safe and training hard. So we are back today with another shoe review, and this time is an important update to a Saucony brand that I've been running in for a long time, the Saucony Xodus. So the Xodus range has changed over many years now, from the original Xodus 13 or 11 I think it was. Then moving into the Xodus Ultra, which was the first iteration of a revamped shoe, onto Xodus Ultra 2, Xodus Ultra 3, and now we are on 4. So there's been a few updates to this shoe. Interesting to see how they compare to the 3 after the big changes from the 2 to the 3, with that midsole setup. So yeah, eager to find out what changes are going on in this new shoe. There's definitely been an update to the upper, and there's been an update to the outsole as well. We'll get into that more in a bit, but to start with, why don't we just go through a few facts and figures about the Saucony Xodus Ultra 4, and I'm going to get running and testing this shoe, and I will see you in a bit. The Saucony Xodus Ultra 4 is a maxed cushioned trail running shoe aimed at those long training miles and ultra distance races. In this update, Saucony have made slight changes to the upper design of the shoe, working in some additional overlays for durability, a new toe bumper for protection from trail debris, and a light woven mesh for breathability and comfort. The lacing system has undergone a slight update, with locking loops to ensure that you get a good lockdown in the shoe, and some loops added to the tongue to help keep everything in place while you run. The padding in the tongue and around the heel cup remains very similar to the previous version of this shoe, as do the structure in the heel cup, which should make for a very secure and comfortable ride. Saucony have kept the same midsole setup, utilising their PowerRun PB and PowerRun technologies. Saucony claim this version of the shoe is softer and more bouncy than the previous version, which would be welcomed update from the change in the midsole setup from the Xodus Ultra 2 to 3, the latter being much more firmer ride. Saucony have also say that this midsole improves forward propulsion and rebound, which is exciting and should improve running economy. Lastly, the midsole has been designed not to deform on impact, meaning you should remain stable when you plant the foot. As per usual, Saucony had provided their excellent PowerRun Plus sock liners or insoles for maximum comfort. The biggest and most impactful update of this shoe has to be the new outsole. Saucony have decided to take the plunge, and they have cladded this shoe in the excellent vegan Mega Grip. This will improve traction on all surfaces, but especially wet rock and tree roots, and it will also help with durability. So what does this look like in numbers? The Xodus Ultra 4 runs off a 6mm heel offset. You get 36mm under the heel and 30mm under the forefoot, which is the same as the previous model. The shoe has unfortunately gained some weight though, possibly due to the adjusted midsole setup and new outsole, weighing in at a 309 grams for a UK 9 for men, which is a 21 gram increase in the weight from the previous model. The shoe does feel well balanced though, so hopefully we don't feel that extra weight on the run. Lug depth for the vegan outsole is 4mm, the same as the last version. This should be fine for most conditions except perhaps the deepest mud in the winter. Price wise, there's been no increase from the previous model, I'm happy to say, coming in at a very reasonable £149, which is in today's market is pretty good value for money, considering what this shoe is aimed at. Available currently only in a regular fit for the time being, but I expect a wider fit to come out in the later. And currently only 2 colours available for both men and for women. You can see those on the screen. Okay, let's get back to the run and see how we get on with this new shoe. Okay, so the plan for the test today, well, for the test of this shoe, should I say, is to do what we did in the last review. Gonna run it over 2 days, just to make sure we get some good miles in it. Let me just walk so I'm not jolting. Yeah, so we get some good miles in it and give the shoe thorough testing on a mixture of surfaces, and just to really see how the new shoe has performed from Saucony. So what I can say straight out of the box, you can definitely feel the difference with that new outsole from Vibram. So sticky. As soon as I got out the front door onto the tarmac, you can feel the sticky properties kicking in straight away. So that's obviously a great update to the shoe. First impressions on the upper. Actually thought it felt a bit narrow, or more narrow, not narrow, but more narrow than the previous version. Now I've worn it for what, we're about 2 miles in. Actually feels quite comfortable, similar to the 3 actually. So yeah, feeling comfortable for now. Let's see how that gets on. Midsole performance, I'll update you on that a bit later. Feels very similar to the 3, I think, straight out the box, but let's see how that midsole performance beds in over the next couple of runs, and then when we do the conclusion, I'll give you a bit more of an update. But not uncomfortable at all. As I say, it feels similar to the 3. I have just run 86 miles in my last Ultra a week and a half ago in the 3, so I've got a pretty good idea of the comparison between those 2 shoes, albeit the 3 has now done over 300 miles for me in the current version that I've got. So yeah, but let's see how it gets on. We're not going to judge too soon. I want to get the good couple of runs in. Today's going to be maybe 5-6 miles, and then tomorrow will probably be more like 10 miles. So we'll get a decent amount of mileage in the shoe, and that should give us enough information to be able to come up with a conclusion for a first run, if you like. But right, I'm going to crack on, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, we are just over 4 miles into the run now, and yeah, thought still stand from the start of the run. Grip, not a problem at all. Running on a mixture of surfaces, feels great. So typical of Vibram Mega Grip as well, and there's plenty of it on the bottom of this shoe as well. The lugs are good. I think they're, as I mentioned, they're 4.5 mil lugs. Pretty good. I probably even hold up pretty well, I'd say, in a British winter. So yeah, obviously time will tell when we get some wetter weather. At the moment it's been pretty dry. We had a bit of rain last night, but nothing much to speak about. The ground soaked up really well, so still pretty firm and dry out here. Yeah, midsole setup, still think it's similar to the 3, which, you know, I would have liked it to be a bit more like the Saucony Xodus Ultra 1. but it's not. It's more like the 3. They've kept the firm, more stable ride. Don't get me wrong, it's not uncomfortable. It's still pretty bouncy, but it's definitely not as soft and as comfortable as the 1 was. Upper feels good. So the updates to the upper have been pretty good. They feel okay. Padding around the ankle collar, in the tongue, all very comfortable. I'm getting a good lockdown in the shoe. No slippage at the moment, which is good. Obviously we've only done 4 miles, so I think we'll get a better test of that tomorrow when we go on the longer run. But otherwise, yeah, it's been a pretty good first run so far. As I said, we'll do the conclusion tomorrow, but I don't think this shoe's got groundbreaking updates other than the Saucony, other than the Vibram Mega Grip, which is definitely a big update and a big thumbs up from me. You know, if anybody's doing any mountain ultras and stuff like that, or mountain trail runs, you're gonna enjoy that additional grip that you're gonna get from that outsole. But it's still been a good update to the shoe. So obviously we'll conclude tomorrow, but let's get running. We've probably got about 1.5 miles before we get back to the flat. We'll wrap up quickly then, and then get on to tomorrow's run. I'll see you there. Right, we are done for the first day. So yeah, we actually have done, if I just look at the time here, let my watch save. In the meantime, while that's saving, yeah, pretty much as I said, the shoes performed reasonably well. Well, quite well actually. The grip's super sticky. Midsole setups very similar to the previous model, to the Xodus Ultra 3. Would like to have seen it a bit softer, but I did get used to the 3 eventually. So yeah, it's the setup's very similar, but that's not such a terrible thing. You know, it does give you a stable ride. Upper's comfortable, so the updates in the upper have been fine. But let's see how we get on tomorrow. We're going to have to go for a longer run, see if we get any hot spots or anything, but yeah, hopefully not. But I'll see you in the morning. Oh, and before I go, we did 6.49 miles, so probably around 10 miles to tomorrow. So yeah, somewhere near 17 miles by the time we finish. So good mileage in the first shoe. Right, see you tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the Saucony Xodus Ultra 4 review. Beautiful sunny day. So let's get this review underway. Let's get running. Right, so about 1.5 miles in, just climbed a hill, so a bit out of breath. So yeah, the idea of today is just to get a longer run in the shoes, see how the Xodus Ultra 4 perform over distance. I'm not expecting anything like groundbreaking to come out of this. I'm just expecting it to be a well supported, comfy ride. As I said to you yesterday, the cushioning feels like the Xodus Ultra 3. I'm not really noticing much difference between the two. The main difference, as I said yesterday as well, mind the trees, is the grip. Yes, you know, we've not been able to test the grip that much because, as I say, we've not had any rain really to speak of. So I've not been able to test the grip too much, but yeah, you know, we've got Vibram Mega Grip under the bottom now of this shoe, so the grip's great, and I expect it to perform very well in all conditions. So we're going to get around 10 miles in today, around about that. I won't be going too far because just getting going again after the last race, but yeah, about 10 miles, and then we'll see how this shoe fares up and give a conclusion back at the flat. But as I said, so far so good. Upper's still feeling comfy today, no issues there. Lockdown's still good so far, no issues there. So let's get testing this shoe on a few hills, which we are going to have today, definitely, and see how the grip performs when we're descending and ascending those hills. We should get a pretty good feel for the shoe. So yeah, after today we'd have completed somewhere around 16 miles, which should be a good distance. Right, I'll get cracking. I'll see you in a bit. Right, we are just over 5.5 miles in, so just over halfway, and yeah, the shoe's feeling pretty good, I'd say. We did some technical stuff back there that you'd have seen, and yeah, shoe handled it well. The grip, as I was saying, no surprise. The outsole is just yeah, amazing, which is good. So in terms of the shoe, comfort, the shoe, the upper's comfortable. My shoe's in a size 10.5, and the length is true to size, so absolutely fine on length. Width, as I said, is okay. It felt a little bit I thought tight when I put it on, but actually it's absolutely fine. So yeah, nice comfortable place to be. As I said, not as bouncy as the Xodus Ultra 1. I would like to see a little bit more cushioning in that shoe, or a softness in that midsole, but Saucony have clearly moved away from that, and they're going for a more stable platform now than what they did before. So that's obviously the direction they're going in. So whether you like that or not, that's how it is. But yeah, I have to say, you know, it soaks up the miles really well. Yeah, just like the previous version did. You know, it's just getting used to that firmer midsole, and I'm sure after 100 miles it will soften up like the 3 did. So yeah, it's a good shoe though. I'm enjoying it. Got around 4.5 miles left to do, something like that anyway. So we're just going to get those miles done, and I will see you back at the flat for the conclusion. Okay, so we are back from our 2 runs. We did a good healthy 16 miles across the 2 days, which has given us a really good feel for how this shoe is going to be performing for us in the long run. So let's go through the conclusion of how we felt the shoe performed out there on this run, and some of those changes that that we mentioned at the start of the video. So here's the shoe. As I said on the run, it performed pretty well. You know, don't get me wrong, this this update to the shoe won't set the world alight for everybody, but I would say it's a good update. So let's just go through that and in bit by bit. If we start with the fit, I would say that the fit is similar to the previous model. Got the previous model here. I mentioned at the start that I thought these shoes felt a little bit tighter when I put them on. I've looked at the two outsoles here. They pretty much look identical in width, so it's probably just the fact that I've been used to running in the 3, and that's obviously stretched a little bit to my foot shape. The 4 obviously hasn't done that yet because I've not done enough miles in it. So I think that's probably what that is. After I'd worn it for an hour or half hour, I got into it, and then that, what didn't feel tight anymore, it softened up, it loosened up, and molded around my foot. So I think that was fine. I think in general, the upper's very comfortable. The padding around the heel, the tongue and the heel cup, very, very comfortable, and very similar to the padding and padding around the tongue and heel cup in the previous version. So no surprises there that it's comfy. That mesh upper, very similar in terms of comfort from the previous one. It is a slightly redesigned mesh, I would say, probably slightly more breathable actually. But yeah, very, very comfortable place to be. We'll go over the durability of the shoe in a bit, but yeah, it was otherwise a comfortable place to be. The laces gave you good lockdown. These loops probably do help, I'd say, pull the shoe in tightly. So you can see those loops there that appeared on this shoe. They went on the previous model. They're just not there at all. So they offer a bit of durability as well. They're stitched in, so they do provide good hold for mid-foot hold. So they proved quite well. I'm not sure how well these loops in the tongue, these new loops helped or not, but everything stayed in place. So I guess it did its job. I had good lockdown in the shoe. So really comfortable, no movement, no slippage, so that was good. In terms of width in the toe box, it's pretty good. You've got plenty of wriggle room. It's not the widest shoe in the world, don't get me wrong, but the toe box is pretty good. You can, plenty of wriggle room, good length in the toe box as well, and depth. I had no issues moving the toes around there, so it would be good on an Ultra, as expected. That's what it's designed for, so no issue there. And true to size, so this is a 10.5, which is my standard fit for shoe, and it was perfect on length, so absolutely no issues there. So overall, fit and comfort, pretty good. When we come down to the midsole setup, so to be honest with you, I didn't notice a great deal of difference between this shoe and the previous model in terms of the midsole setup. They both feel pretty similar to me. If anything, yeah, I don't notice that much. Yes, there's probably a little bit of more bounce in this one. It's not massive, but I think there's probably a little bit. You notice it more when you're running on the road, I'd say, than on the trail. So not uncomfortable at all by far. Always a comfortable place to be. The previous one was a comfortable place to be as well. Is it as comfy as the Xodus Ultra 1 and 2? It's definitely not as soft. There is an argument to say that on longer distance runs, when you're running an Ultra, you don't want it too soft because you do need a stable platform. So maybe that's why they've gone down this route. Saucony, they've definitely moved away from like that really soft cushioning, which we had in the Xodus Ultra 1 and 2. The 4 has definitely not been a step back in that direction. I would say they might have just adjusted it slightly, just to maybe give you a bit more energy rebound and soak up those lumps and bumps in the trails a bit better. But yeah, I don't think they're ever going to go back to the softness of the 1 and 2 midsole. So I think this is how it's going to be, and you like it or you don't. I do think, like the previous model, after 100 miles, this is going to feel a little bit softer. It will bed in. Shoes do tend to do that anyway. So I think you'll see the performance of that midsole maybe soften up and maybe improve for some people over that time. It's a stable run, I have to say that. Definitely, I mean, I didn't have any problems in the versions 1 and 2 as well, but version 3 was definitely more stable, and this one's exactly the same. So you're going to feel well planted, you're going to feel, I wouldn't say well connected because there's too much cushioning to be well connected, but you're definitely going to feel well planted and stable when running on technical terrain. So there's no issues there. This shoe has actually been made for I would say gravelly paths or well-groomed trails, but it handled the technical stuff in the forest, as you'll see on the video, really well. So I had no issues with that. Full confidence in that as well. And of course, that Power Run insole that we get in these shoes, I'll just pop that out. There it are. It's nice and thick, very, very comfortable. Makes this shoe feel very plush, and really adds to the overall comfort of that shoe drastically, actually. So really happy to have those back in there as well. And in terms of performance, grip and traction, as you can imagine, that Vibram outsole, there's a lot of it on there. There's no gaps or anything. This is a full Vibram Mega Grip outsole. It's not the light base or anything like that. You've got these traction lugs in there. You can see they're like stippled if I zoom in there a bit. And they grip well, as you can imagine, really, really well. I say they're going to perform better than this rubber from the previous model, which does tend to wear down prematurely. We'll talk about that again in a minute. But yeah, the grip on the outsole of this was perfect. Up and down hills, no loss of traction at all. Obviously didn't try it in deep mud because it's been a warm period of time, so pretty much most of the mud's dried out now. We've got hard compacted trails, little touches of mud here and there, but nothing to write home about. So we will obviously give us a thorough test when we do get some more rain, and now in the UK we won't have to wait that long before we get some rain, so you know, I'm sure we'll be able to test it sooner rather than later, but I think this will handle it pretty well. Obviously deep mud in the British winter, 4mm lug might not be deep enough. You might need a 5mm lug, but you know, I tend to run this shoe all year round. It's fine mostly. If it's that deep, the mud, then pretty much no shoe's going to handle it anyway. So yeah, I would say this shoe would be pretty good in that. I expect the durability of this shoe to be good. Previous one has done 377 miles now. The actual upper durability has been pretty good. I always get this problem in shoes. It doesn't matter what shoe it is, so I can't say that that's a particular issue. It's where I catch my foot on my shoe sometimes, on the other shoe. That's why that causes that. The only bit of wear on the top of here is just here on that toe piece there. There's a tiny little hole starting to appear. It's only the smallest of holes. It's actually where I normally get a hole in this shoe if I'm going to get it. Previous models exactly the same place around here. Now, what's noticeable is on the new version where the toe bumper is, they've added this little piece of overlay here. I'm wondering if that's been put in for that reason, quite possibly. But otherwise, I expect this should be really durable. The outsole is definitely going to be more durable because Vibram Mega Grip is a very durable rubber, so I expect that to be very good. So yeah, other than that, I think it's good. So overall impressions, I think it's been a good update. Is it going to set the world alight? No, but there are some standout features in this update. The main one being the outsole, obviously. That's a big update for me. I think everyone's going to be happy with the Vibram Mega Grip outsole on there. I think that takes this shoe to a new level in terms of grip and performance. I like their new toe bumper, for instance. It's more substantial than the previous one. The previous one was pretty good. This one's even more substantial. You can see that stippledness around there. Makes for a nice, really good toe bumper. Should you kick a rock, I think you'll probably be good. Still got that rock plate worked into the bottom as far as I'm aware. I couldn't see anything to say that it wasn't in there. So you still got the Saucony rock plate in there. Yeah, generally good. The weight difference, I didn't notice it. I did try the other shoe on as well at the same time just to see if there's any difference. The 21 grams is not a good thing to go up in weight. I should imagine it's because of the outsole where they've added that Vibram Mega Grip, and it is quite a chunky bit of rubber on the bottom of there, so I imagine that's probably what's added the weight, but I would sacrifice that for the grip, I think. So yeah, more than happy with that. In general though, as I say, the shoes perform well over the first 16 miles. Obviously it's only 16 miles, we've not done 60 or 100 in it yet. We will give you another update after we've done some really good long runs in this shoe, and just to let you know how it's getting on more than anything really. But I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I think it's going to be a comfortable place to be, a comfortable ride, and it should soak up those ultra miles really well. We'll give it a good thorough testing in July when we run our next ultra, which is a 50k. on the North Downs, so that will give this a good thorough testing, and hopefully we'll come out of that with our feet intact and have a good race as well. So we'll see. But yeah, all in all, I would say a good update, and obviously with the Vibram, a worthwhile one and worth the money. You know, the £150 is not a fortune in today's market. Yes, I know £150 is a lot of money, but actually when you compare that with other shoes on the market, it's pretty reasonable. Just thank God we've got Klarna where we can split the payments over 3 months these days. But I don't know about you, but I feel like I get to the end of the 3 months and then I have to buy another pair. So it's just how it goes when you do all of this running. You know, that's what we do. Sport that's meant to be cheap isn't really that cheap, is it? But yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, so I think that wraps that up. If you like this video, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. It's really, really much appreciated. We've got more videos coming up. As I said, we've got the North Downs 50k by Ultra Challenge, which we're doing in July. So do keep an eye out for that video when it comes out as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. All that's left to say is train hard, race hard, have fun. Until next time, I will see you soon. Take care.